All right, let's start with our exclusive interview here on SABC News. Orlando Pirates and Premier Soccer League Chairman Dr. Irvin Khoza has exclusively told SABC News that he is willing to appear before the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial if he is called to testify. So during the course of the ongoing trial, you'd remember defense lawyer Thulani Mngomezulu asked for a statement by Meyiwa's brother Sifiso to be read in court. In it, Sifiso claimed that Khoza told him that Senzo was not shot by robbers. So as today marks 10 years since Meyiwa was killed, in the first ever interview since the soccer star's murder, Dr. Khoza sits down with me in a tribute to Meyiwa, his last moments on the pitch, his legacy, and his rise to stardom.
What is remarkable with him, he was always hungry to learn. His star grew up with his maturity. It was not an instant phenomenon. Yeah. Once he was excited to be promoted, there we go and get Monique Joseph. Now Monique Joseph became #2 goalkeeper after Kune in the national team. He embraced him. Says, man, I'm happy he's here, I'm going to learn from him. It's not scripted. It's just spontaneous. Now, all the time when he speaks to you, you can see that, this happiness, this joy. Because he wanted to learn. His relationship with Kune, it also tells you that he's a guy who does not compete, He knows that, he's got limitations or he wants to learn and whatever. You see Kune as his friend. They were friends. When he was in the national team, I admired him. So that gave me the sense that maybe the young man, he understands his divine purpose spiritually. Why is he here? Now coming back, when he got his chance to play, in 2008, it was the opening of Orlando Stadium, which was refurbished. Remember, we were playing for 2010.
Yes.
Then he got the chance against Royal Zulu. Then there was a howler. He let the goal go into the net. The man was dispirited. But he came up, he picked up his pieces, and he was replaced. He didn't break him. Each time he's at the training, he'll tell his friends, tell the chairman I'm doing very well. But the uniqueness of his man is that he never had an agent. He never had an agent. And he reminded me of Mike Fish. Yeah. Never had an agent. Siyabonga Sangweni. Those are the players that stood out, in my administration, of these pirates. They're going to stand up for a long time as unique human beings. Because it seems if they knew what was their purpose, in playing football. So Senzo, you pick up the pieces, and you got a call up now to be the main goalkeeper. The uniqueness of him, it came up, especially in 2013. When he was called the King of Kinshasa, when he stopped 2 penalties. In fact, they were arguing with the retake, said, no, give it to him. Yeah. And he stopped it. He became a greatest showstopper in the PSL. Because, he have that innate of being able to be agile without, seeing any kind of, hang-ups.
Yes.
If you made a mistake, he's prepared to take, corrections. But more than that, he was a player that all the time is prepared to help. He's available to help. But you must see, whenever he does things, it's just got this commanding posture of his, using his hands, directing the marshalling the defense in terms of the gaps, in terms of the defense and things like that. It was his nature. But also, if you look at, the game that he played, on 2014, on the 25th, he did something very unique that really said to me, on hindsight, this man had a premonition. After we won that game against IS Cape Town, now people will remember this.
Yes.
He alone, he rounded the stadium, waving a hand, as if he's saying goodbye, alone. Usually nowadays you see the Pirates players, they all congregate in the corner, all of them. Alone, he circled the stadium, waving to the supporters. He's got his own gesture.
Yes.
As if he's conducting the choir. Now, it didn't mean anything at that particular moment. It didn't mean anything. But what gets into me is what was shared to me by our kid manager. It's my nephew. The first thing he came to tell me at home, he says, "Man, Chairman, after the game, Senzo sat on his chair. Because players, when they finish, they take out their uniform, they go to the shower. He took out his boots first, and he put his feet on the boots, and he bowed his head. Well, 5 minutes. Not removing the uniform, bowing his head. Now, remember what happened in the field of play?
Yes.
Now, bowing of his head after the game. What was happening in that moment is between him and his God. I can't comment. When the news happened the following day, it was devastating. Because this man, as I said, his star grew in his maturity. Then when he got a chance to be a leader, he became a leader by example. He became a leader that he was always prepared, to learn and to share. In all situations, he conducts himself as somebody who wants to share himself with everybody. Mm. Now, talking about 10 years, I only hope that the wheels of justice, because I believe in processes, that the story must be told to give us some kind of closure. I can't imagine the family was close to the father, was Sam. When I brought him back, with the team, I said to the father, I took him as a young man with some potential. I'm bringing a national asset back, but lifeless. Because in September, he became a captain of Bafana Bafana of that year. Then he became also a captain of Orlando Pirates Football Club. Now, something strange happened also in July 23rd of 2014. At the Pirates Awards, the Zex Bantwini was performing. And I was sitting with Stan Shabalala in my table. I said, just get Senzo, Masugu, and Dauda. Now, Dauda was one of our players from Ghana, was a goalkeeper. Mm. I said, they must know the human side of these people. What is the human side? How they can dance. Nobody has seen it. It was a private, observation because I'm so much,
yes.
high-minded.
Yes.
I watch every move of my players.
Yes.
There was something unique now. Dauda is from Ghana and is Muslim.
Yes.
Boy. Let him dance for you. Masugu, let him dance for you.
Yes.
Now Masuki's West is from Orlando. Senzo from Mulazi.
Yes.
It's happening.
It's another combination.
They went to the stage. They invited guests they could not just understand. They were beside themselves. Now, you can imagine, all these things is happening in the lead up, to October. It never happened before. I asked him whether I can get Senzo to come to the stage and Masugu and what's going. Now, he didn't know what I was saying.
Yeah.
But he didn't know himself.
Yeah.
I surprised him. Otiam kadingwenye yakwazi dance ndoto. Ngite ine trouble dingwenye ichama. Usenze ichama.
Yes.
With all the offers coming, came and tell me that bafuna ngihambe kuPirates amna ngihambi ngipakaniya. So that was encouraging as the chairman. Because it's a game that is very brutal.
Yeah.
Once you think you've got a player now, but the player is already being, coaxed, to go to another team. But he has never done that to Senzo. He never betrayed the team.
Does it speak to the caliber of person that this Senzo Meyiwa was?
All what he has achieved came at the right time when he was matured.
Right.
He was able to differentiate, which made him a unique leader, Senzo, because of maturity. Because a lot of players, at the age of 18, 19, 20, they get lost. Yeah. But this young man was grounded all the time, wanted to perfect himself. Mm. If there was another player bringing Jose was going to be discouraged, and he drowned himself in liquor. He did not do that. That's why him and Kapuza did a very unique thing. You give Kapuza a substitution position, he doesn't wear a long face. At training, he says, tell the chairman that, I'm scoring goals here. He must tell the coach.
Yeah.
Laughing. Same with Senzo. So you don't get this kind of players, more often than not. They wear long faces, they leak things into the media, they become disruptive in the dressing room. What a joy to have. And I say this, with remote, humbleness, to say that, the maturity, when he got the right to be the captain of the national team, it helped him. Yeah. Because he understood the responsibility. That's why whenever he played, he was commanding people all the time. If you look at Senzo's videos, all the time, he's commanding. Not arguing, commanding. And putting himself in harm's way for the good of the club. He read his chapter, his pathway, to a point. That's why it was so emotional for everybody when he suffered that fatal, moment in his life. But he had endeared himself to people. If you look at the game a day before, it was raining. It was as if it was his last game. And that's why people could not understand in the transition. This excitement nowadays, what happened? What happened? To your question. That's why I trust in the process of justice to say, maybe we're able to get the answer. Because that's how processes work. Sometimes they take too long, frustrating and whatever. But I think the boy deserves better. Because he serves the country with aplomb.
And just a day, as you mentioned, Dr. Khoza, after demonstrating that commitment on the field, tragedy struck. Even till today, as you say, the justice system is still navigating the process of
what happened,
getting to, through evidence, of course, in court, what really happened on that day. When did you first hear the news that this tragedy had struck?
See, what's also a bit of a challenge that, it was known by everybody that, the day after the match, immediately after the match, the following day there was a birthday party of Mahamudza.
Yes, which has been mentioned in court.
We thought everybody was in Mahamudza's what you call. I think I got four or five calls on different people. I could not believe. Then the first guy to phone me was my general manager, Floyd Mbele.
Yeah.
A few people phoning me, Chico Twala phoned me, Jasmine, the player agent, phoned me. 4, 5, 6 people phoned me.
Yeah.
The chairman, but nobody believed. They didn't have the story. They said, but we are told he's shot. So only later in the night you say, no, it's normal. Because it's unbelievable. I remember, one of my sons phoning Mahamudza, says, man, is Senzo there? Because he could not believe that, Senzo is shot. But what happened in the party? They didn't know themselves.
Yeah.
It's only when they got the news, then they also all went to hospital.
Yes. And this must have hit very hard on you. This was a young man that you took in. You had a very close relationship with the late Uncle Sam, Senzo's father. And I guess the expectation would be, given that his father was in KwaZulu-Natal, you equally played a father figure for this young man when he came into your fold. So this must have hit you.
We all know that we're going to die one day.
Yeah.
But there are people that give you a sense as if they're not a dying type. Senzo never looked like a dying type. Because of his exuberance, his personality, never say die spirit, And after having performed this much well, and everybody being excited, and that's why when this happened and I phoned the father, I had to collect myself. Because I can imagine the emotion on the other side. To express my condolences. Because what is strange for me was because, they told me that they were together with friends and whatever, So the father on that side, I could hear him crying. And I had to tone him down. I said, Daddy, cry some more. It's a big loss. And I know how special the Senzo was to his family. The things he did for his family is just unbelievable. You never forget where he come from. And I said to the dad, I think we need to get somebody to come up and start sorting out things. But before that, I said, I'm coming.
And you did.
And I must say that one thing that I want to highlight is Ubuntu of the administration of Sifiso Zikalala. So because when I prepared to go down to see the family, I phoned him as a premier.
Yes.
To announce that I'm coming. He says, no, I'm going with you to the family. The whole leadership of the provincial executive was part of my delegation to go and see the family. And they helped me to bandage, and to cushion the pain and the loss. Because, the family could see that, this boy is in safe hands. Mm. Then when we came back, with the boy, that's why I said to the daddy, I want to apologize, but also grateful that I took your boy as an unknown into my development. I'm bringing him back as a national hero, as a captain of Bafana and captain of Orlando Pirates Football Club. But unfortunately, his boy is lifeless. I'm sorry.
I would like to get your comment on the fact that it's 10 years And I know you're a man of process. But it's been 10 years and still there is no justice for this young boy who came into your fold, who came into becoming a man. 10 years on, there's still no justice for Senzo Meyiwa.
You see, the unfortunate part, you know, I'm not an insider. I'm from outside looking inside.
Right. Respectfully so.
So I cannot comment with context.
Yes.
Because I know, like, when I comment, I must have context.
Yes.
There are things that are not available to me to make a judgment call. That's why I'm saying we must trust the process. Whichever long it takes.
But like everyone else who wants to know what happened to Senzo Meyiwa, obviously you would also want justice to be seen to be done.
Well, I think that's fair enough. I mean, for everybody, not because of Senzo, anybody who loses a loved one, there must be closure. But, you know, I don't have the authority to make pronouncements.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The trial is still ongoing as well.
That's why I cannot make pronouncements because governance has got its own way.
Yeah. I would be amiss in my journalistic responsibility. Whether you can answer me or you can't answer me. But responsibly so, on the premise that the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial is still currently underway. We've not delved into the merits of this case in this particular interview. But I have to ask you, how did it feel when your name came up in the trial?
Well, I can't say anything because, you know, if I'm called, I'll appear. If I'm called, I'll appear. And try to understand because somebody told me about this. And I listened and said, okay, I must go. If I'm called, I'll appear. And answer.
And just finally, you say if you're called, you will appear before the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial.
That's responsible to do.
Do you feel aggrieved that it was raised within court in that particular way? It's public knowledge now because this obviously was said by the prosecutors that you did depose a statement. Did you depose a statement?
Yes. 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 No, it was something that I don't know the context.
Yes. I don't want to go into the context.
Until I'm called in court. You know. Yeah. Because that's why I have not said anything. Yes. The day passed on, I made one press conference and nothing else after that. Yes. This thing came out later. Long after, you know, the 2014 and whatever, you know, recently. So
I was inside court on that day.
So I must go to court and answer. But don't ask me a question on hearsay.
Yes. I think that's where we're going to leave it, Dr. Khoza. I would have been amiss in my journalistic career, and I think on the basis that the matter is still before court at this matter, and we cannot delve into the merits of it. But I appreciate your insights on Senzo Meyiwa. From the time that he came into your fold, the man and the soccer player that he grew to become, how he went on to represent South Africa, and of course, some of now the controversies that have come up, of which you say you will attend to, if needs be.
I think the important thing that, you know, the family deserves better.
How so? What do you mean?
Senzo's kids deserve better in terms of what we want to know what happened.
That's right.
We all want to know what happened. The family cannot have closure without knowing what happened. They are grieving, it's tearing them apart. That's why I don't want to be part of the narrative of the innuendos and whatever, because it's not fair to the family. But that's why I'm saying let's wait for justice to take its course. Interrogate every fact that comes up. And that's the purpose of the court.
100%.
To make sure that we get to the bottom of this thing. And make sure that we leave nothing unattended. But the family and us, the family of Orlando Pirates Football Club, we want closure because we lost a role model. We lost a leader. We lost a matured player who matured with time. And that's why I'm saying that the Senzo thing was so impactful, because if it was an instant phenomenon, it was something else. He earned it. He went through a process. Everything of his happened in a matured age. And he had the shoulders to handle it. And it's a lesson for other players that you always wait for your time.
Yeah.
You work towards your stardom. His star grew with the maturity of his performance, of handling all the situations.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying, to be fair, that we know what happened at the final analysis. Again, the justice system. You know, our country is too democratic. So the process is, sometimes they're laborious, but let's wait and see. I hope it's going to happen soon.
Dr. Irvin Khoza, the chairman of Orlando Pirates, as well as the chairman of the Premier Soccer League, speaking exclusively there to SABC News for the very first time since the killing of Senzo Meyiwa in 2014. You would know that he's never done interviews on the matter. He did go to the family home back then. He was in actual fact a crucial part of the organizing team for Meyiwa's funeral. He was also very close to Senzo Meyiwa's late father, who, in another exclusive interview coming up at 10 o'clock on the show, we speak to Senzo Meyiwa's family.